Right, let's go to First Corinthians chapter 16, verse 15. And we have no plans to stop our addiction. Right? We're going to keep going with this. I beseech you, brethren, you know that the house of Stephanus, that is the first fruits of Achaia, that they have addicted themselves to the ministry of their saints. So the whole house of Stephanus is babies, grandchildren, wife, daughter, son, whoever was in this house was addicted to doing the work of the Lord. We're addicted to doing the work of the Lord, man.
Right.
Right? We can't stop. It's in us to do the work of the Lord. I mean, Jeremiah was utterly addicted. He tried to sit down, but he said, I could not stay. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 20 and verse 8 real quick. He couldn't stop moving still.
Right.
Right? He kept moving in his chair. He tried to drink a glass of water. Maybe try to, do, I don't know, talk to his mom or something. I don't know. But he couldn't stop doing the work of the Lord. This is Jeremiah chapter 20 and verse 7. O Lord, thou hast deceived me, and I was deceived. Thou art stronger than I, and hast prevailed. I am in derision daily, everyone mocketh me. For since I spake, I cried out, I cried violence and spoil, because the word of the Lord was made a reproach unto me in a derision daily. Then I said I would not make mention of him. And that's sometimes when we were saying, I ain't going to do this no more. Right? I'm just going to put the Bible down. I'm just going to go out. I'm going to go for a walk. And you look at your left hand, you still got your Bible with you. You don't even know how I got there. Right? And it says, nor speak any more in his name, but his word was in my heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. And you get tired. You got people that smoke cigarettes. They try to stop smoking, different, drugs, and guess what? They get tired of fighting. They get tired of forbearing. That's us with this word, man. Right? You sitting on a chair, you kind of just, your finger keep doing this like you flipping through the precepts, man. Right? So we're addicted to doing the work of the Lord, and we ain't gonna stop our addiction.
Right.
This is our crazy addiction, man. Right? We're gonna keep working for the kingdom of the Most High, man.
Right.
The brothers got it.
Con, somebody get Tazim up from W5 Church Philly. Like the brother said, man, we're addicted to the work of the Most High God. We understand that through us putting through the labor, through us rightfully dividing the words of truth, through us going out on the highways and hedges, amen, we understand that all this is for reward, man. I'm going to get a quick precept in Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 19. It says, verse 16, the labor of the righteous tendeth to life, but the fruit of the wicked to sin. So we understand that when we do the righteous works of Yahweh B'Ashim Yahushai, it tends to life. We're doing this for our own good.
Right.
We're doing this to receive the everlasting life that the Lord promised throughout the scriptures, man. We understand this. This is Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 23. It says, in all labor there is profit. So the Lord says when you go out and you do the work of the Lord, when you put in the extra work for the Lord, the overtime camp, making that extra video, reading them 5 extra chapters, doing alms, having charity. The Lord said for all labor there is profit. But the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. So the Lord says when all you do is talk, when all you do is say, I'm an Israelite, I know I'm an Israelite, I love the Lord, but you do nothing to back it up, man. He said at least a penury, which would be being poor, man. Living in a lower state. The Lord says when you talk with lips and you don't put actions within, amen, you're not going to have abundance.
Right.
And we understand that through 1 Samuel 2 and 3. I'm going to get one more precept. 2 Ezra chapter 7, and I'm going to start at verse 33. Because we understand that through doing this work, we're going to receive something from it. We're not out here laboring, pouring our hearts out, putting our bodies, making our bodies as a living sacrifice, just because of nothing, man. We understand that there's going to be a reward that follows, as it says in this precept. 2 Ezra chapter 7 and verse 33. And the Most High shall appear upon the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away, and the long suffering shall have an end. But judgment only shall remain, truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong, and the work shall follow. So the Lord said your works are going to follow you to the kingdom. We understand that through the parable, like the parable with the Luke 19, where the Lord gives you talents. And he said, look, the man that increased his talents, he was to rule over multiple cities, man. But the man that hid his talent and said, hey, look, I know that you was an austere man, and that man, that servant, he was cast into the fire with weeping and gnashing of teeth. So we understand that our works are going to follow us. It says, and the work shall follow, and the reward shall be shewed. So there's going to be reward that's shown in the kingdom of heaven. There's going to be reward that's given to his servants that are rightfully putting forth the works of the Lord, man. Rightfully sacrificing their bodies. rightfully sacrificing their time. I'm gonna keep reading. And the good deeds shall be a force, and the wicked deeds shall bear no rule. So the Lord said that the good deeds, they're gonna be a force, meaning there's gonna be an actual reward or an actual show, a showing of what your good works did, man. It's not all for vain.
Right.
So brothers got it.
Shalom, shalom, brother Tajima from WFI Chicago, right? And like the brothers are saying, hey, we addicted to this thing, man, right? We have a crazy addiction, and guess what? We can't stop it, man.
Itching.
Right? We itching out here. What are we itching? To do the work of the Lord, man. Right? We can't stop reading, and we can't stop praying, man. Every day, if we don't pray, if we go a day without praying, we're not gonna feel right, man. We have to fast every week, multiple times, right? We have to make sure we meditate on the laws. We literally addicted. We can't stop this thing, man. Now, some people might say, well, hold on, you guys are addicts. Yeah, we are addicts in righteousness, right? A lot of people, they're addicts in wickedness and sin. They can't stop doing sin. They can't stop going off. They can't stop thinking wicked thoughts. They can't stop being covetous. But what we have to do, we have to be addicts for the word of the Lord's sake. For this truth, man. And the Lord is going to look upon that, and you're going to be blessed above others. So let me bring this up in Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Right, this Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse number 8. There is no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit. So you don't even have power over your own spirit, man. Certain men on the earth, the Lord jacks up their spirit so they can't stop doing the work of the Lord, man. They can't stop having count. They can't stop giving exhortation. They can't stop giving counsel. It's certain men on the earth, they literally cannot stop thinking about the Lord, man. The angels, they get sent down and they always checking on his brother. Guess what? His mind is always fixated on the Most High. So no man has power. You can't say, you know what? Oh man, I'm just not, the Spirit want me to do this, but guess what? I'm just not going to do it. No, if the Lord wants you to do it, guess what? You're going to be doing it, man. Let me go to Haggai chapter 1. So you want to be addicted in this thing, and righteousness. And it's nothing like you get that spiritual high, man. You get that spiritual fix. And you got crackheads, you know, they get high, they feel good, right? They uplifted, they kick back on the couch. And when we get spiritually, you know, high for lack of better terms, and we feel amazing, man.
Right.
We feel confident. We feel in the spirit. We feel bold. We feel like, guess what? We untouchable. Why? Because we have the protection of the Lord around us. Let me bring this out in Haggai chapter 1. All right, this is the book of Haggai chapter 1 and verse number 14. Haggai chapter 1 and verse 14. And the Lord stirred up the spirit of Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and the spirit of Joshua, the son of Josedek. And that's what the Lord could do. The Lord could you could just be sitting on the couch one day and the Lord just stir up your spirit, man. And a lot of brothers, they try to fight against it. Oh, why am I feeling on fire? Why am I feeling like I want to read? Right? I know I'm kind of tired. And guess what? They quench the spirit, man. Then you have men, they got that spirit coming upon them and they get it 24/7. All the time, they can't stop. And you want to ask the Lord to increase your zeal for him, man. To increase you to keep serving him more and more. Right? Reading on. The high priest and the spirit of all the remnant of the people. And they came and did work in the house of the Lord of hosts, their God. And that's what you want to be doing constantly. Keep doing the work of the Lord in his house, man. Keep bringing in his people in. If it's any type of edification, guess what? Hey, put that out there through the Spirit. You have to keep laboring. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. Let me get this in 1 Thessalonians. Because last thing you want to do, you know, you don't want to quench the spirit, man. Mm-hmm. Your spirit is always really itching, man. The Lord is always knocking at the door, right? Saying, hey, read me. Hey, pray to me. Hey, fast. Hey, study. Hey, hit up this brother. And if you ignore that, guess what, brother? You're going to, wax worse. All right, the Most High is going to give you over to those spirits you want to entertain. And guess what? You're not going to be an addict in righteousness. It's either two things. You're going to be an addict spiritually. You're going to be addicted to the work of the Most High. Or you're going to be addicted to sin. You have to choose one. All right, this 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse number 19. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 19. It says, quench not the spirit. So that's plain upon table. The Lord said, quench not the spirit, because your spirit is a flame. Your spirit is a fire. And if you quench that by putting water on it, by not keeping it burning, eventually, you know what, it's gonna go out. And once it go out, you are now not an addict anymore. Right? As they see in the world, you know, you sober now. All right, you go to rehab, and guess what? Now you're back in sin. So you don't want to be like that, man. You want to always be addicted to the work of the Most High. And if you know, guess what? You know that feeling. Let me get one more. Right? If we can't explain, it's no really in-depth breakdown on the feeling, man. You just, you know, if you know, you know. Right, let's go to Psalms chapter 118 and verse 139. Psalms 118 and 139. My zeal hath consumed me, because my enemies have forgotten thy word. So David said his zeal took hold of him. And brothers, you know when the zeal take hold of you, man, and you can't stop moving. Like the brother brought up, right? You literally walking around like this. You thinking about the precepts. You might be teaching, you calling the precept. You just in the spirit at all times.
Right.
You feel your body temperature start to rise up, man. You feeling more austere. Hey, David said, my zeal have consumed me. Why? Because David, he was an addict. You have many addicts in the scriptures and in righteousness. You got it.
That's true. You have many. I mean, when people get up and they get up in the middle of the night. They start scratching, and itching.
Right.
Right. Like the movie New Jack City.
Yeah.
He couldn't stop. He over there just looking at it. It's moving, man. But what did Nehemiah do at night? There's Nehemiah chapter 2 and verse 11. So I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. And I arose in the night, and some few men with me. Neither told I any man what God had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem. Neither was there any beast with me, save the beast, and I rode upon. He couldn't even sleep. That's how much addicted he was. He couldn't sleep. He's like, I gotta get up. Y'all come with me. I ain't telling nobody else, and we gonna go do this thing. And it says, and I went out by night by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon well, into the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and the gates thereof were consumed with fire. Then I went to the gate of the fountain into the king's pool, but there was no place for the beast that was under me to pass. Then went up I in the night by the brook, and viewed the wall, and turned back and entered the gate of the valley, and so returned. And the rulers knew not whither I went or what I did. Just like a damn fiend, they just you see them right there. You turn back around, they running down the street, man. They gone.
Right.
Where the hell Ricky go? Right? Hey, Nehemiah got up by night and did the work of the Lord, man. He viewing the walls. Okay, this gonna need this type of pound. Okay, this gonna need that. All right, hey, write this down. We're gonna need this.
Right.
No, maybe we need that. All right, we're gonna be here this time. All right, damn, what is that? He couldn't stop doing the work of the Lord, man.
Right.
Even at night. That's how Nehemiah was getting down. Let's jump to the next chapter over. Let's prove that. It's Nehemiah chapter 4. And I'm gonna start at verse 21. So we labored in the work, and half of them held the spears from the rising of the morning until the stars appeared. I mean, they were literally working from damn dawn, 5 a.m. in the morning, all the way to 9, 10 p.m. at night. They couldn't stop doing the work of the Lord, nor did they want to, man, till the stars appeared, right? And it says, likewise, at the same time said unto the people, let everyone with his servant lodge within Jerusalem, that in the night they may be a guard unto us and labor on the day. So neither I nor my brethren, nor my brethren or my servants, nor the men of the guard which follow me, none of us put off our clothes, saving that everyone put them off for washing. They didn't even take off their clothes. That's how much they were into doing the work of the Lord.
Right.
Their mind was so fixated on doing the work of the Lord, they washed their clothes, and that was it, man. Put it right back on, got right back to work, man. Let me go to the book of Mark, chapter 6. All right, let me start at verse number 13.
Bring it out.
All right, this is the book of Mark, chapter 6, and verse number 13. Is this what I want? Actually, this is Mark 6 and 31. And he said unto them, come, I'm going to start at verse 30. And the apostles gathered themselves together unto Yahushua and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. And he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place and rest a while, for there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. Imagine being so addicted to doing the work of the Lord, you didn't even have time to eat. That's on the right-hand side. You go to these fiends, they ain't eating 3 days, man.
Right.
They just looking for the next fix.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they trying to do anything just to get $2.50 to go do what they got to do in wickedness, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there were so many people coming and going, they forgot to eat. The Lord himself had to tell him to rest. You're not, I mean, how much work are you really doing? Oh, I feel like I did a lot of work this week. Did the Lord come to you in the dream and tell you to rest?
Right.
Did the Lord come to you and say, you're doing too much? Hey, chill out. Did you even eat today? That's how on fire they was, man. If the Lord didn't come to you and say that, hey, you got to chill out, then you were not putting in enough work, man.
Right.
You're not putting in the work of the disciples, man. Right? They flesh and blood just like you. They were going hard for the work of the Lord. They didn't even have time to eat, man. Brothers, God.
Calm, man. Like the brother brought out, man. Amen. This is all of the Lord. And we always, when the Lord gives the Spirit, we have to take hold of the Spirit and not cast it away, man. When you look at the disciples, man, they were hard men. They were men that will constantly do the work of the Lord, constantly fighting the affliction, constantly enduring battles ourselves from the Lord, man. I'm going to get a quick precept in Zechariah, chapter 4 and verse 16. I believe 6. Slightly. Zechariah chapter 4, and I believe on verse 6. Come. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. So we understand that when we have these urges to do the work, when we have the urges to read more chapters, we have the urges to go out to camp and prophesy mightily to the people, wake up the lost people of Israel, it's all of the Lord's Spirit. It's all of the Lord putting His Spirit upon us to do this, man. Why are you forsaking the Lord's Spirit? Why, when you get this urge to go out and do an overtime camp, you kind of shut it down? You're typing in the group chat, hey, brothers, y'all want to link up at 7 o'clock? But then you suddenly start to delete it and say, I'm tired from work, man. My feet starting to hurt. It's a little bit too hot outside.
Right.
Hey, man, you're forsaking the Lord's Spirit. Like the brother was bringing out, man, you're quenching the Spirit. You can't do that. We have to understand that when the men of the Lord back in the day, hey, they were laboring mightily. I'm going to go to a quick precept in Luke 9. Hey, when you look at Yahushua, he was a cold man with pertaining to the Lord's work, man. He was a cold man. That I gotta read it. Luke chapter 9, I'm gonna start at verse 57. Yeah. It says, And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. And Yahushua said unto him, Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head. So Yahushua was saying, hey, look, man, I'm doing so much work, man. I'm so much on the move, man. I don't got nowhere to lay my head at, man. I have no resting place. I have no place of ground that I can just go and stay at. I'm here all the damn time. Hey, Yahushua, he was on the move, man. He was telling other men, hey, look, if you want to follow me, you got to be on that same type of mindset. You got to be ready to be forsaken of all men. You got to be ready to catch affliction, catch all hell, man. That's a spiritual aspect of that, man, when he said that foxes have holes and I'll read it again. Foxes have holes and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. All right. And Yahushua, he understood this, man. Let's keep reading. And Yahushua said, and he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Yahushua said unto him, let the dead bury the dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of Yahweh. So Yahushua, he was a cold man. Cold. He said, look, let the dead bury the dead. Meaning, let them go do what they need to do in the world. We have work to do, man. We have to preach the kingdom of Yahweh. That's right. We have to continuously wake up the people, the lost sheep of the children of Israel, right. And we have continuous work to do. Like Yahweh said, the laborers, there's much labor, but the workers there are but few. Right. Let's keep reading. It says, and another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. And Yahweh said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. And that's cold, man. He said, look, if you put this hand to this plow, if you understand that you're Israelite, start to do the work of the Lord, start to go out and teach, start to read extra chapters to try to build yourself up. When you start slacking from that, when you start drawing back, when you start looking into the world and saying, hey, look, this work might be too much for me, hey, Yahushua himself said, hey, look, no man that does that is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. Right. That's why we have to be addicted to this ministry. We have to addict ourselves and understand, hey, we have to continue to labor. We have to continue to labor abundantly and not slack on the work of the Lord. Right. Like the brother said, I'm sure Yahweh Bashim Yahushua didn't come to you in a dream and say, look, you did enough work, man. you did enough. We're all good. You can just take a chill, relaxed day. Take 2 weeks off. I'm sure that didn't happen. So as long as we're here, as long as we get to continue to seal the elect, we continue to have to put out the work, man. I got another precept. Philippians chapter 3. I'm gonna start. I really want to start verse 5, and then I'm gonna jump to 15 or 13. I'm sorry, 4. Actually 5. Yeah, and this is talking about Paul. Paul, when you read his account before he came into the knowledge and had the revelation by Yahweh Shai, man, Paul, he had a lot of zeal. It's going to talk about that. Concerning circumcised the 8th day of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisee. Concerning zeal, persecuting the church, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. But what things were gained to me, those I kind of lost for Hamashiach. So Paul, before he came into the full knowledge of the gospel of Hamashiach, he had a lot of zeal. Right. He would persecute the church. But when he came into the full truth, he took that zeal with him, and he labored more abundantly than the other disciples, man, the other apostles. Right. Paul was the top apostle regarding laboring, regarding putting in the work for the Lord, man. We got to be on Paul's type of level. Right. Have the same zeal that Paul had. Paul was a mighty man when you look at the scriptures, man. Right. A mighty man. Getting locked up in prison, still pushing out the work. Man, people try to kill him, bringing false accusations against him, man. And he's still putting out that work, man. We got to be like Paul. I'm going to keep reading. I'll actually jump down to 13. It says, 12, Slaki. Not as though I had already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after, and that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Hamashiach Yahushua. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh and Hamashiach Yahushua. So Paul, he continuously pressed towards the mark. What was that? Doing the work. Right. Enduring, suffering, affliction. Continuously proclaiming the name of the Lord, man, and all of his works. We have to be in that type of mindset and addict ourselves to that type of mindset so we never leave it. Brothers got it.
Con, that's right. It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse number 4. Great is my boldness of speech toward you. Great is my glorying of you. I am filled with comfort. I am exceeding joyful in all our tribulation. For when we had come into Macedonia, our flesh had no rest. And that was the apostles, man. They were so addicted, guess what? They forsook the rest. They didn't have time to sleep. Like the brothers brought out, when you're locked in on whatever that's your heart desires, everything else is blacked out, for lack of better terms. You're not thinking about eating. Right. You're not thinking about sleeping. You're not thinking about going outside. And you in wickedness, you locked in, you forget about certain responsibilities, man. Might forget to pay your rent. Might forget to go get gas in your car. Because all you locked in is on what's in front of you. That's how we have to be with the Lord, man. That's how the apostles were. The king had brought me into his chambers. So it says, what? Draw me and we will run after thee. Talking about the elect. So guess what? If you were really addicted, you will run after the Lord, man. You have certain men on the earth, they ran after the Lord. And you have certain brothers, they walk 9 miles for the Lord, man. And willing to do it again. Guess what? Them addicts out there, them crackheads, guess what? They'll run. They'll go state to state. They'll take somebody's car.
How they get there, I don't know.
Right. They'll take the bus. Get the lady off the bus and take the bus, man. Right. And drive it all the way to God knows where. Just to get that fix. You got to run after the Lord, man. Literally and spiritually. You got to always be seeking Him. Get the precepts, wisdom, knowledge. Like we said earlier, if you don't, you're not going to, if you're in the right spirit, and if you don't do those things, you're not going to feel right. You're not going to feel like yourself. You're going to be getting migraines, headaches. You might get sick physically. And you read the prophets, they was getting certain visions. Guess what? They was getting sick. So these things, it's gonna affect your body. If you're in the right spirit. Now, if you're in the right spirit, it's not gonna have no toll on you. All right. You could go days without that fix, without that high. Guess what? The true men and women of the Lord, they need that spiritual high, man. So let me bring this out in John. Right? Let me bring this out in the book of John, chapter 21, I believe. John chapter 21. You see. Actually, John chapter 20. Right? This is John chapter 20 and verse number 2. Then she runneth and cometh to Simon Peter and to the other disciple, whom Yahushua loved, and said unto them, They have taken away the Lord out of the sepulchre, and we know not where they have laid him. Peter therefore went forth, and that this other disciple, and came to the sepulchre. So they ran both together. And the other disciple did outrun Peter, and came first to the sepulchre. So these men, they running towards the Lord.
Right.
But guess what? John, which is that other disciple that is talking about, outran Peter, man. And that always lets you know it's always going to be another man more addicted to you, man. Right? It's always going to be another man. He going to want it more than you, man. He going to want to serve the Lord more than you. There's going to be another man out there, he can't stop praying to the Lord. Or you might throw up a couple prayers, do your daily thing. But guess what? There's somebody out there, they're going to outrun you. God, hey, we going to feel some type of way, man. You see a brother, not that it's a competition, but you see another brother, he love the Lord more than you. Hey, you'll feel, if you're in the right spirit, you'll feel some type of, man, I need to get it together, man. Or I need to be on his level, man. I need to increase more. So it's going to be always somebody, they're going to be more addicted to the Lord than you are, man. And if you're not addicted, guess what? 9 times out of 10, you're addicted to sin. You're addicted to witchcraft. It's no in between. It's either one or the other. You addicted to the work of the Lord, or you addicted to sin and folly and vanity. How about you got it?
Connor, that's exactly right. Right? You gotta hop straight into this thing. Right? I mean, once you get that spirit, man, you gotta fall in love with that, man. Once you feel that spirit for the first time, right? It's like you heard the truth, you fell in love. You gotta have that same spirit throughout.
Right.
2 Chronicles chapter 29 and verse 1. Hezekiah began to reign when he was 25 years old, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Abijah, the daughter of Zechariah. He did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that David his father had done. He, in the first year of his reign, in the first month, opened the doors of the house of the Lord and repaired them. I mean, in his first month, man, first year. As soon as he took the throne, he kicked open the doors of the Lord, blew off the dust and said, all right, let's get to work, man.
Right.
I've been waiting for this moment, man. He's been waiting to be king so he can kick open those doors of the Lord, man. Right? When somebody do something the first year, in the first month, they've been meditating on it already. They've been thinking about it, tossing and turning, how you going to kind of put the altar here, right? Think about the wickedness people was doing, couldn't wait to get started, man. Right? And it says, and he brought in the priests and the Levites and gathered them together in the east street. And he said unto them, hear me, you Levites, sanctify now yourselves and sanctify the house of the Lord your God and your fathers, and carry forth the filthiness out of the holy place. And that's all his mind was on, is that they carry forth the wickedness out of the holy place. How on fire you gotta be? How addicted to the ministry you gotta be to set that up, man.
Right.
In the first year, in the first month. Let me get to the book of Mark. Let's read about the Lord, man. This is Mark chapter 6. I'm gonna go back to 32. And they departed into a private place by ship privately. And the people saw them departing, and many knew him, and ran afoot thither out of all the cities. I mean, these people ran by foot out of the cities, man. Right? Imagine you in a major city, and the Lord is in a suburb near you, and you drop all your stuff and you start sprinting up the street, man.
Right.
I mean, they didn't care, right? Some of these people had children. Some of these people may have left behind a husband. But where are you going in the Hebrew? Right? Where are you going? And she's just running after the Lord, man.
Right.
Right? On foot out of the city, man. Right? And it says, and out with them and came together to him. And Yahushua, when he came out, saw much people and was moved with compassion towards them, because they were as a sheep not having a shepherd, and began to teach them many things. And this is at the end of the day. They already was doing miracles all throughout the day. Yahushua may have been tired, but he said he saw his people, had compassion, and kept going, man.
Right.
Right, verse 35. And when the day was now far spent, his disciples came unto him and said, "This is a desert place, and now the time is far past." Meaning, the day's over with, right? But what happened next? Send them away that they may go into the country round about and into the village and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. He answered and said unto them, "Give you them to eat." And they said unto him, "Shall we go and buy 200 penny worth of bread and give them to eat?" He said unto them, "How many loaves have ye? Go and see." And when they knew, they say, 5 and 2 fishes. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass. Meaning Yahushua wasn't done yet. Right? He said, "Well, Lord, can we just send them into the city so they can get their own food?" He said, "Well, do you want us to go get the food? How much you got on you right now?" Right? Have them sit down, and we're going to keep doing these miracles. We're going to keep doing these works, man. Their day was far spent. They was tired. Right? But guess what? They kept doing the work of the Lord. They didn't quench that zeal, man.
Right.
But they didn't regard flesh.
Right.
Right? Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1, man. All right, what is flesh? Right? You think a crack at a carrot, they scratching their damn veins out, man.
Right.
They trying to find the damn thing, man. The vein. They don't care about their flesh on the wicked side. Why do we care about our flesh, man? On the righteous side, right? This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12. Not Hebrews, Romans 12 and 1. Right? It's Romans chapter 12 and verse number 1. "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service." Yeah, because you must have forgot you were supposed to be dead.
Right.
You were supposed to be in the grave already, 8 feet under, twice told, 3 times, man, for the wickedness and the sins you have done. But the Lord allowed you to breathe this morning. You better get to doing the work of the Lord, man.
Right.
You better get to being addicted.
Right.
Find your nearest Bible, right? Open up the precepts and get to doing this work, man. This is your reasonable service.
Right.
It was either death, right, or this probation, and you serve the Most High, man.
Right.
For the rest of your days, and guess what? There's a reward for you. Hey, once you complete that sentence, man. Right? We must have forgot that we're servants of the Most High. There's a yoke and a bondage on us, man, to do this work, man, and do it willingly. Brothers, God.
Come. And like the brother brought out, man, we gotta do the work of the Lord, and we gotta understand that our bodies are not our own. We look at Yahushua, man. He's a chief example, man. We gotta look upon him. We gotta see how much zeal he had for doing the work of the Lord. I'm gonna get an account in John chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 17 or 15. Sorry, 14. And Salakia, 13. "And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the changers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the table, and said unto them that sold doves, Take these things hence, make not my Father's house and house of merchandise. And his disciples remembered that it was written, The zeal of thine house hath eaten me up. So Yahushua was so on fire that it said that the zeal of his house has eaten him up, man. He couldn't contain himself. When you look at Yahushua, man, he was a man that he had a pose, a posture. He didn't get too out of the spirit. He didn't get angry. He was a man that talked, and when he talked with authority. But he had so much zeal for the Lord that when he saw that happening, he had to overthrow the tables, man. He had to make all hell break loose within that.
Right.
We have to be on that same type of spirit when it comes to doing the work of the Lord. The zeal of the Lord's house has to eat us up, man.
Right.
When we see our people going off, when we see our people in this state that they're in right now, the zeal within us has to rile us up, man. We gotta say, look, I gotta put in more work, man. My people, they need me out there, man. Hey, the Lord, he needs me out there, man. The Lord, he commanded me to be out there. The Lord, he commanded us to go out and do his work, man. Praise his name.
Right.
Let me get another precept. In Psalms chapter 145.
Pick it up.
Come on, we're gonna do this work, man.
Come. Psalms chapter 145, and I'm starting verse 1. It says, I will extol thee, my God, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. And this is David talking. David saying, hey, look, I'm going to bless your name forever and ever. I'm going to continue in your works forever and ever. We have to have that same mindset. It has to be day in, day out, man. It can't be one day you're extolling the name of the Lord, and the next day you're falling off. Right. The next day you don't really want to do it. The next day you're lukewarm. And we gotta do this every single day. Every single day we gotta meditate on the Lord. How we can bring the kingdom closer and closer. How we can extol the name of the Lord even more and more every single day. It says, every day where I bless thee, I will praise thy name forever and ever. We have to have that type of mindset. We have to look upon the men in the scriptures and see, hey, look, when they were extolling the Lord, when they were running towards the Lord, they were doing it with all their might. Let me get another precept in Luke chapter 19. I'm going to start with verse 1. And Yahushua entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was a chief among the publicans, and he was rich. And he sought to see Yahushua, who he was, and could not for the press, because he was little of stature. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him. So this man, he was so on fire to see Yahushua, to see the works that he was doing, to get to know him. It said he ran to a tree and climbed up onto it, man. How many brothers and sisters would be willing to do that for the Lord right now, man? You might look at the tree and say, it's a little bit too high, or my hands are starting to hurt, or I don't know if I can do it. I'm too tired, I'm too lazy. We gotta have that same mentality that man had. Hey, look, he was little, but he did so much more just to see the Lord, man. We gotta be on that same type of mindset. We might have little gifts. We might not know where our gifts are. We might have a little bit of time, a little bit of energy. We might have all these things. But the thing is, we gotta go harder. We gotta go to the next level, like this man did in the scripture. I'm gonna keep reading. And when Yahushua came to the place, he looked up and saw him, and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house. And he made haste and came down. And this man, he made haste to come down. He didn't say, I'm gonna take my time. I might break my leg by falling.
Right.
I might sprain an ankle. And he made haste to come down. He said, look, Yahushua is calling unto me. I got to come down. We got to do the same thing in the spirit. Yahushua is calling unto us.
Right.
He's calling unto us to continue in this work, like he did, to continue to do the Father's will. So we got to be in our same mindset, the same spirit, to continue in these works. I got one last precept.
Bring it out.
And this is the book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 12, the classic. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So your works, on top of your faith, on top of how much charity, alms that you did, your works, they're also going to be judged. They're also going to come to account of how much you receive in the kingdom. So we got to understand that with the works comes a reward. And we got to continue in it because the Lord is coming to judge us from it. Brothers,
Come.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 25, and verse number 7. I'm going to start at verse 6. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation. So guess what? Phinehas, he seen, guess what? It's Israelite bringing a Midianitish woman in front of the congregation of the Lord. Now, when he saw this, guess what? He went crazy, man. He went berserk. And you have to be in the same spirit, man. Do you go crazy for the Lord? Do you go berserk? Or do you lose your mind? All right, just like, Eve, she going crazy. She find out, guess what? He cheating. That's what she's slashing the tires, man. She's riding around in the car with the gun looking for you. Guess what? You got to be like that for the Lord, man. You got to, man, I can't be dealing in sin no more, man. I got to get this work done, man. I can't control myself. I got to keep reading. I got to keep helping out my people. I got to keep giving alms. That's the spirit you got to be in. It says, when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. So this man, he went so crazy, he took a damn javelin and he got it in his hands. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent. So he busted in their tent, man. It says what? And thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. This man was so on fire. And he, guess what? He ended up killing both of them, man. Why? For the wickedness that this man was doing. Read it on. And our forefathers, they was in a different spirit, man. We can't just go around killing Jake right now.
All right.
All right. You see Jake with a Edomite, we just take a bat and we just hit him in the head. Now he's dead. We can't do that. But guess what? Phineas was so on fire. He was so addicted. Guess what? Hey, he was working at priest's office.
Right.
All right. He was the priest. One of the sons of Aaron. He could have been in a priesthood, but guess what? He had to stop what he was doing. Okay, nah. Hey, the priesthood, you can't just stop what you're doing like that in the priesthood. But guess what? He stopped what he was doing and went and did judgment. Read it on. And those that died in the plague were 20 and 4,000. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, have turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God, and he made atonement for the children of Israel. And the more you be addicted to the work, the Lord is going to reward you, man. The Lord is going to praise you, man. The Lord is going to esteem you high amongst men and amongst wisdom. Right, let me get one more, the classic. Let's go to the book of Revelation. Right, let's go to Revelation chapter 3 and verse number 2. And this precept should have you addicted. Right, if you're not addicted to after hearing this precept, you're not in this thing for real.
Right.
This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 2. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. Because everybody has things on their members that's ready to die.
Right.
Whether that's their reading life, their praying life, their fasting life, their discernment might be ready to die. The counsel might be ready to die off of them, man. The alms that they used to give, that might be ready to die. So we have to be watchful and strengthen all of those things. The lust, the slothfulness. Read it on. For I have not found thy works perfect before God. I'm going to read that again. For I have not found thy works perfect before God. And your works are never found perfect before the Lord, man. So that means there's always more work to be done in the last days. All right. With that, giving all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Brother Tazamah,
Brother Zabayala.
The brother Tazama.
All right. All praises. This is our, let me see if we can flip the camera. All right. This is our crazy addiction, and we're not letting it go. So all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. We're about to get some more of this reading in, man. All praises. Shalom.
Shalom.